What is going on? Today I want to talk about how to make staying in a calorie deficit and staying shredded year-round easy. It doesn't have to be super complicated. It can be something that is sustainable. From a really young age, when I was in middle school and I was playing sports, I remember seeing athletes being completely shredded and just wanting to be like that, look like that, perform like that. And so that was kind of like young Austin's kickoff into his own health and fitness journey, if you will. From there, I went on this journey, which I've arrived at today, on how can I be shredded, stay in a calorie deficit, look good, feel good year round. So now there's a lot of benefits of staying shredded year round. One being you just look good. I mean, at the end of the day, people who have muscles, when you can see their muscles, they look good. And so the first benefit is just looking good. Number two, typically you feel good too, for the most part. And I know like when you're in an extreme deficit, that's where things can get a little crazy and you don't always feel good. But within that like 6-pack range, honestly, you look good and you feel good. So there's not really any downside to it, except for maybe there is. And that's what I want to talk about and how we can avoid these downsides in this video. So in order to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit, right? Simple answer is yes, you need to be consuming less calories than you are burning. That makes sense, right? Less calories than you're eating. No, you need to be consuming less calories than you're burning. That makes sense, yeah. Simple answer, yes. You need to be consuming less calories than you're burning. But the complex answer is kind of. Well, what do I mean by that? In order to lose significant amount of weight or to really be shredded and be like bodybuilder stage ready, yes, you have to be in a calorie deficit for an extended period of time to get that lean. But that's not the only way we can get lean and stay lean. So the first thing I do with all my clients is I have them track their food. And I use an app called MyFitnessPal that makes it really easy. Literally any food in the world is on their diary and you can track it, you can scan it, you can measure it, whatever. I find it to be extremely helpful when it comes to tracking calories, because in order to stay lean year round, you do have to track your calories. And my clients, when they come to me and they're saying they want to have a 6-pack year round, the first thing I do is let's track our calories. Let's figure out where we're at. When they start tracking their calories, I don't even have them start trying to eat healthy or eat clean. I'm just trying to find their base. I first want to figure out where I'm currently at based off of what I'm currently eating. And so I'm just going to track 5 days with my current eating lifestyle. And that could be junk food, fast food, crap, frozen pizzas, you name it. Or it could be whole foods, rice, chicken, beef, vegetables. But I don't try to change anything. I just try to eat what I'm currently eating for my body to be the way it's currently at. And it's the exact same thing I do with my clients too. I don't want them to change anything in the first 5 days. I'm just looking for a neutral baseline to figure out where is their base metabolic rate right now for them to look the way they look, or for myself to look the way I look. From there, once I know the baseline, let's say it's 2,200 calories a day, I'm going to adjust the macros. This in itself might actually help you start losing weight and losing fat and gaining muscle, which I know is crazy because people think you have to be in a deficit, but this is where that answer is more complex than simply being in a calorie deficit. First, we need to eat 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of desired body weight. From there, we can pretty much split our carbs and fats right in half and fill in the rest of the calories with that. But the first step is getting that protein number dialed in to exactly what we need it to be. I think a key step that people start missing then following this is that a lot of times people go right into the cut. They get their macros right, they have their calories on, and they just start pulling calories right away. While I understand where the thought process comes from here, this is also what's going to create a non-sustainable weight loss journey and making a calorie deficit much more difficult than it needs to be. What we need to do first before anything else is reverse diet. What reverse dieting is speeding up your metabolism to increase your base metabolic rate so that we have more food to work with once we start entering our cut. What I'm looking for in a reverse diet is to maintain weight or even lose weight, because that happens a lot of times when people start eating whole foods and the inflammation goes away and they're getting their protein, they're getting healthy carbs, they're getting healthy fats. And from there, I'm going to set a caloric ceiling where I want us to hit before we even think about pulling calories. Now, there's 2 major reasons why I have everyone I work with reverse diet, or I myself reverse diet before I go into a cut. One dieting can be dangerous. The reality is the less food you eat, the less nutrients you're getting, the more chance of some sort of health thing happening to your body. And so let's just get that out of the way. Let's increase the amount of food we're eating so that we're getting a proper amount of nutrients before we even think about going into that deficit. When we get too low on food, we run out of energy, we run out of drive. And the reality is that food plays with our hormones. So if you wanna have a healthy sex life, if you wanna have a healthy relationship, if you wanna have the ability to go out with your friends, you need to consume food. And so if you're trying to have a sustainable calorie deficit that's easy over time, going straight into a cut and getting really, really low calories is not the way to do it. Reason number 2, the more lean muscle tissue you have, the higher your metabolism is going to run and the more food you can consume while being in a calorie deficit. When you reverse diet, our goal is actually to increase some lean muscle tissue while maintaining weight. If we do that, that in itself is going to speed up your metabolism so that when we go into a cut, we don't have to pull as many calories as we would if we never reverse dieted. So now let's talk about actually going into a deficit and what that should look like. Once we've hit that caloric ceiling and we're ready to start pulling those calories down, what should you be looking for? On average, we're looking to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. This is a really safe number and a very slow number maybe, but slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And so at the end of the day, the quickest way to get to that result of being just super shredded is going to be the slow, smooth direction, which is going to be 1 to 2 pounds a week. Because at the end of the day, we don't wanna just pull food and just get really small. We wanna lose body fat and maintain muscle. And so the way we do that is we pull calories ever so slightly every week to see that 1 to 2 pounds drop. So now that we have the game plan, I wanna talk about what does a day in the deficit look like for me and how do I do it in a sustainable way to stay shredded year round. One, I'm not in a deficit all year round. That's not how I stay shredded. I stay shredded by having seasons of being in a deficit and being in a bulk and also being in maintenance. Don't sleep on maintenance phase. I feel like so many people are so focused on bulking or cutting that they forget about once you get the cut, maintain the cut and look good. And then when you start to bulk slow so that you can also maintain the cut. You're just putting on more muscle and not gaining fat. For myself, I always set my protein number first, like I talked about, which for me is 220 grams of protein a day. And then from there, I split my carbs and fats right down the middle, and that is my starting point for calories. And now I need to work that into 5 meals throughout the day for myself. So meal 1, I'm really focused on protein, fat, and fibers. I started out again thinking about protein. I need to get 40 grams of protein per meal basically. And so I need to know that whatever I'm putting into my plate to eat is going to get me to 40 grams of protein. So that's where I always start. I will say a quick hack on MyFitnessPal. Enter your food on MyFitnessPal before you eat your food, because then you can play around with the numbers some to make sure that you're actually hitting the macros that you're trying to hit for that meal. And so meal 1, protein, fats, fiber. Usually I'm having some sort of Greek yogurt, granola, fruit, some sort of nut butter. I'm looking for something that's gonna fill me up, but not make me feel overly heavy, because I'm going to the gym to train my clients and I wanna be ready to move weights around with them and not feel like I just ate this huge meal that's slowing me down. From there, I move into meal 2, which is my pre-workout meal. And this meal is probably more of a snack compared to the rest of my meals. I'm usually looking at some sort of protein shake and then protein bar. Again, I'm trying to hit the 40 grams of protein per meal. That's a non-negotiable. I want some sort of fast burning carb for this, which is why I usually pick a protein bar. I'll be honest with you, I'll even go with Rice Krispies because it gives me that boost. I feel like I get a good pump in the gym and it gives me a good amount of carbs for my workout. From there, I hit my workout, which is usually about 45 minutes after my pre-workout meal. And I'm feeling really good. I don't feel sluggish because my meal was almost an hour ago. And I hit that lift, and I will tell you what, I have done fasted workouts and fasted cardio in the past. I used to do CrossFit and I do a lot of fasted CrossFit workouts. Now that I have a pre-workout meal, my lifts are exponentially better. My pumps are exponentially better. And so, especially when you're in a deficit where you know you're gonna be cutting food, if you can feel yourself before you hit your workout's gonna be exponentially better, so don't sleep on that. After my workout, about an hour later, I hit meal 3, which is my post-workout meal. And this meal is going to be the largest meal I eat during the day because I want to take advantage of the anabolic window post-workout, where my body's been breaking down, it's been catabolic during the workout, and now I get to refuel my muscles, restore my glycogen levels, and get myself to a place where I'm now rebuilding muscle tissue. And so how do I do that? Again, I'm getting 40 grams of protein. That's non-negotiable. but I'm gonna get 40% of my daily carbs after my workout, okay? And so if that means you're eating 200 grams of carbs a day, I'm getting 80 grams of carbs post-workout. It's so important to take advantage of that anabolic window and to get as many carbs in as you can, because one, again, this is going to go to restoring your muscles, rebuilding glycogen, and two, it has high satiation levels so that you don't feel hungry throughout the rest of the day. Versus if you just have a protein shake post-workout and then you wait for your next meal to be a couple hours later, I can guarantee you, you're gonna be really hungry, you're gonna be really crabby, and you're not gonna be happy. After my post-workout meal, I'm usually at home working with online clients, or I'm at the gym training clients in person, and so it's more of a snack, which is meal 4. Again, I try to hit my protein number, and I usually am grabbing rice cakes, almond butter, some sort of nut butter, and fruit, protein, fats, and fibers. It gives me that satiation level to keep me full as I'm in that calorie deficit. Last but not least, meal 5. I'm on my way home from the gym, I'm done for the day, and now it's time to get the rest of the calories and macros that I haven't yet hit. Meal 5 is usually where I have the most fun, especially during a calorie deficit where I know I'm gonna be hungry, because at the end of the day, when you're in a calorie deficit, you're gonna be hungry. But meal 5 is where I get to have a little bit more fun, might have some pasta, spaghetti, something like that. Really just focusing on making sure, 1, I'm hitting my protein, and then 2, I'm finishing off the rest of the calories that are on the list. I like eating a lot of meals because it makes me feel full throughout the day, especially when I'm in a deficit, and I know I'm gonna be pulling calories week to week, and I know that I'm going to be hungry. When I have multiple meals, it gives me that feeling of I've been eating all day, I don't need any more food. Once I'm done with meal 5, I can just relax, watch some Netflix, and hang out, and I don't have to think about food anymore. So this is my day in a deficit, and really what it comes down to is the quality of food and how much food you're eating, and the specific types of macronutrients that you're eating also. When you do this and you eat like this, it gives you a lot more freedom than feeling like you have to eat chicken and rice every single day when you're in a deficit. That's not the case. Focus on hitting your calories, focus on hitting your macros, and focus on eating foods that you want to eat, things that you enjoy. If that is chicken and rice, more power to you. A lot of people feel like you have to eat like a rabbit in order to stay lean. As you can see from this video, that's not true. I like to think I hold a really good level of leanness year round, and I definitely do not eat like a rabbit. I enjoy salad, but a salad is not the main part of my meal. So eat food, increase your metabolism, be healthy, and be cut all year round. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for following along. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Try any of these tips, let me know how it goes, or just drop me your favorite cheat meal or a meal that's your go-to when you're in a deficit, something that really just hits the spot. So until next time, guys, peace.